If you are not familiar with the National Electrical Code, NEC, you are in luck. This is a series of codes governing electrical installation work. It is developed through a consensus process, which means that everyone has a say in what should be done. The NEC is a comprehensive set of rules that must be followed by anyone who is doing electrical work. In addition to that, the code specifies the safety measures for a range of electrical systems. The National Electrical Code is the most commonly used code to regulate electrical work. It's not a set of laws, but rather a set of standards for the way electrical wiring is done in the U.S. It's a part of the NFPA's National Fire Code series, and has been around since 1897. As electrical use in the home became widespread enough to warrant regulations, the NEC evolved to reflect that. It is continually revised, and a new edition will be released in 2020. In addition to these standards, you need to be familiar with different types of electrical equipment and the voltage levels that they operate at. This is important because you don't want to have a fire if there's a malfunction in the circuit. You should also be familiar with the types of materials that are used for wiring. For example, copper conductors should be used and are supposed to be copper-clad aluminum. However, the size and material of the wires used should be based on the type of metal, and other materials should be sized accordingly. The National Electrical Code was first introduced in 1897, and it was adopted by many jurisdictions. The NEC is continually revised to increase safety and ensure that electrical installations meet the standards that are required. It is important to ensure that an electrician knows the latest NEC requirements before you start work. A successful installation must meet the minimum standards of the NEC to avoid a fire. If you want to avoid a fire, be sure to follow the NEC. There are many types of electrical codes and regulations. Several of them are more stringent than others, but they are still essential to safe electrical work. As long as it is done correctly, the code is a good guide to electrical work. In the United States, the National Electrical Code is the only set of standards for the industry. The National Electrical Code has regulated the industry since its introduction. Those who are working in it must be aware of its requirements. The NEC is produced by the American National Standards Institute, ANSI. It is updated 3 times a year and most states do not adopt it immediately. In addition, most states do not adopt the most recent edition, and they implement changes to the NEC months or years after it is published. This means that the NEC is a model code that is regularly amended. It is available as a bound book with hundreds of pages. NEC is an important code for electrical work in the U.S. It covers the safety of electrical installations in a building. While NEC codes are not as widely used as other codes, they are the same standard for the same purpose. In fact, the NEC is the most commonly used code in the world. The National Electricity Code was written in the same language as the NEC. This is the only way to ensure that your installation is safe. The National Electrical Code is not a federal law. Local jurisdictions have their own codes that must be followed. Therefore, you should only hire a licensed electrician if you need electrical work done in your home. A licensed electrician is well versed in the local electrical codes, and will be able to answer any questions you might have about them. Moreover, the National Electrical System is the most commonly used code in the U.S.